Hello. Yeah, am I audible? This will be the first question of every class. Yeah, very good. Yeah, okay. Will not waste any time. We'll directly start with the class. So, very good morning. And the last class, as you remember, we spoke a very interesting remedy. We spoke about Veratrum alb. Okay, and we had two parts. In the first part, I told you about the mental symptoms of Veratrum, and in the second part, we spoke of the particular symptoms, and more emphasis was given to the cholera or the gastric affections of Veratrum. Okay, so there was a question one of your friend had asked in the last class. Can we think of Veratrum alb for convulsions, which will come after cholera or after loss of fluids? So this is something I went back after the class and I tried to check. So you don't have a rubric like conversions after cholera, but we have remedies which in which we can expect conversions coming after, like for example, after vomiting, after diarrhea, something like that we have. But specifically, variety is not indicated for conversions which comes after cholera. That's the question one of your friends had asked. Okay. So if things are clear with Virat, we will quickly take up a very important remedy. The remedy that we'll be discussing today. Now, you being in third year, I thought we will have more practical and more interactive discussion so that slowly you should fit into the role of becoming a doctor. So your thought process, the way you think, slowly should start maturing. And the ultimate goal is you should become a successful homeopathic practitioner. So keeping that main objective in mind, today I'll introduce you to a small remedy, not a small remedy, a very important remedy. And before I start today's discussion, I have some aims and objectives. Please go through this so that you can start preparing and you can use the chat box and you can start interacting and answering. So what are the aims and objectives that I have set for my class today is that the first objective, if you see the slide, is I am trying to ask you or we will in the end list the behavioral problems in a child. Okay. Now, before we go to the second objective, what exactly I mean here by behavioral problems? See, when I say behavioral problems in children, I am not talking of the psychiatric diseases, meaning ADHD or autism spectrum disorder. We are not talking of those disorders. We have a normal child with us, okay? His intelligence, his understanding, his other things are very normal. But he might have some behavioral issues. Now, what are those behavioral issues is what we'll be trying to take up after some time. Okay? And what could be the probable reason behind the behavioral problems, whatever we are trying to list, that will be our second objective. And we'll also look at the homeopathic drugs for the behavioral problems in children. See, when we talk of homeopathic practice, kids, the pediatric age group, they are the main focus, meaning they are the one who come to us very happily. because we don't harm them, we don't give any injections, we give them sweet pills. So our homeopathic practice, at least some 30 to 40% of our practice, they belong to this group, the pediatric group. And 30 to 40% of our practice is a big percentage. So understanding the problems the child is having and treating them will fetch you a lot of goodwill. Okay, and we will also try to list the homeopathic drugs. And if you see the fourth objective, this is what I am trying to focus here. So you have got the clue, which is the drug that we are discussing in detail today. The drug is Hyos. But before we talk of Hyos, we would just like to have a small warm up so that we understand Hyos much better. I hope the voice is clear. Okay. And in the end, we'll also, yeah, many of you say voice is low.
Is this fine now? Yeah, voice is very low. Okay, chalo, I'll try to. Yeah, it should be better now without the earplugs. So the last objective that we'll have here is, if possible, wherever it is possible, we'll try to compare the remedies that we are trying to list out. Okay. See, these objectives are very important so that you know what exactly I am going to speak the next 40-45 minutes. Okay. So now, having given you the objectives, please use your chat box and you can start typing what could be the probable behavioral problems that one can encounter in the clinical practice. What could be the common behavioral problems? Yeah, voice is clear. Good. So, what could be the common behavioral problems? Say again, many of you are talking of autism. I made it very clear. We are not talking of the psychiatric illnesses. We are not talking of autism. Like, for example, somebody has given here. I'll just read what they have tried to tell you. Okay. Being too aggressive, being too angry. Chalo, good. Such kind of things, simple things. Being too stubborn. Good. Being hyperactive. Okay. See, unfortunately, the present generation kids are very hyper. We'll not go into the details now why they are hyper, but yes, out of 10, we see some 7 to 8 children who are very aggressive, who are very restless, who are very hyperactive. So, going ahead or moving ahead, we'll try to understand what could be the common behavioral problems we see in a normal child. I repeat, I'm talking of a normal child. We are not branding them to have some psychiatric issues. We are not touching that area. A normal child having behavioral problems, like for example, he or she being very violent behavior, being very abusive, using the language that is not to be used, foul language, okay, vulgar words, they come under abusive, and being very haughty. Somebody has typed in the chat box, they want to be alone, etc. etc. Now, being very haughty, meaning haughty means they have too much of self pride in them, and this haughtiness will not allow them to mix with others, or this haughtiness makes them feel that they are somebody very superior, and this can lead to behavioral issues in a growing child. Okay. Yeah, yes, now many of you are trying to understand and you're contributing. Good, keep it up, good job. Somebody used this word, a child being very aggressive. It's not normal being too aggressive. So being too aggressive, being too violent, and see, kids do fight. If we reflect back towards our childhood days, yes, we have also fought, we have also quarreled, but to what extent? There is a line which says it is normal, and there is a small line which differentiates this from being abnormal. So being quarrelsome, fighting, being quarrelsome, small things you fight, okay, and yeah, this are few things that you also see here. like troubling your sibling, troubling your friends. And mother has issues in the school. Teacher keeps complaining, your child is a child who is not behaving properly. He is troubling others. Fine. These are few things that you can keep it in your mind. And being very stubborn. You have to listen to what I tell. I don't listen to you. Being very stubborn, being obstinate. Okay. Somebody used the word rage. Higher degree of anger. So excessive anger. Small things, the child gets angry. The child gets angry. Fine. And yeah, they're going to the extent of threatening, like I'll kill you or I'll kill myself. Could be all these things. Probably, if a mother, present day mother sees these slides, she will understand. Yes, my son falls into this category. Now, this slide tells us that this particular person is a very destructive person. Being destructive can also come under behavioral problems. Breaking things, okay, fine. Breaking things, being destructive. Yeah, you can see here, out of anger or out of rage, or just like that. The energy is so much that he just breaks toys. He being destructive, he being breaking, biting. Fine. Biting not for fun. Biting is with some real intention. The real intention is to harm you. The intention is to trouble you. Fine. So this small child biting might be fun, but if an elderly child biting can be dangerous. So biting, and we can add few more. These are few things that I have taken from my practical experiences, that I have seen kids having behavioral issues. Okay. If you want, you can add few more. I don't know. I have not seen the chat box. If you want, few more things can be added. Okay. And yeah, few things can be added as we understand. No, slowly we can start adding. But these are the main things that we see in a child having behavioral issues. Okay. Now, my quick question to you is, what are the remedies? Remedies having behavioral issues in homeopathic medica. Okay. Or before we take up the homeopathic part, I have given you the common behavioral issues that a child encounters. Now, the next thing that I would like to know from your side, as a third year student, what could be the causes? Why is this child having behavioral issues? From your knowledge, from your simple knowledge, what could be the common causes? What could be the common causes for all the behavioral issues that we have seen? Very good. The atmosphere, beautiful, good. Experiences at home. Yes, good, beautiful. Too much of pampering. And there will be an extremely opposite thing, being too strict. Lack of affection. Oh, good, beautiful. I didn't expect so many answers. I'm happy. The parenting, the style of parenting. There could be some pregnancy history. Very good. Good. Keep it up. You're all happy. I'm happy that I see a bright future. Good. Keep it up. So these are few things. Probably if I was a third year student, I wouldn't have thought of so many causes. Good. So see, now you see here, this is the commonest problem that we have in the present generation. Quarreling parents. Okay. Mother is busy, father is busy. Father, mother, they have their own egos. Unfortunately, the trend we have in today's generation is women are equally egoistic. Probably if you look at our parents generation, though the mother was egoistic, she would somehow suppress it out of fear of the husband. Now both are equally earning. I don't know if this trend is good or bad, we will not discuss. I have got nothing against women working, but what I want to try to tell you here is a lot of ego clashes, okay, lot of pressure, and this in turn causes quarrel among the parents, and this will have a very bad impact on the child. You can see this image here. Quarreling parents, somebody rightly said, see, this was also something that one of your friend contributed, the parenting style. See, this is, as a parent, we know that this is the toughest job. Okay, when to be strict, when to let them loose. For example, if you are too strict, that again can have an impact on a growing child. Similarly, if you pamper too much, fine, if you pamper too much, that can also give rise to behavioral issues in children. So we need to maintain a balance. Okay, only experience will teach us when to be strict and when to let them loose. Okay, so parenting style can also have a very big impact. And unfortunately, many times we see the parental discard. Like, for example, they get separated. The child likes the father, but she's forced to stay with the mother, or the child likes the mother, but she's forced to stay with the father. So that parental separation can also have a big impact on the growing child. Okay, many times it may not be a separation. Unfortunately, it can be a death, some accident, some disease, some reason, and one of the parent dies. So that can again have an impact. Mind you, it's not necessary that every child will have a reaction or will go into behavioral issues. I'm just listing out the probable causes why this can happen. Okay, so now this is a very sorry picture that you see here. And what is this that is that I'm trying to tell you here is child abuse. Very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. But then we have cases, we have seen ladies coming to us. Not only women, we have also seen boys being abused. Okay, so this can also have a psychological impact on the child, and it can affect the behavior. Okay, so child abuse, and this is something again a very practical thing. The only thing that we should have done here is we should have put a girl here, and the mother showing more love to the boy. Okay, so what I was trying to tell you is negligence or neglect that comes from the parent's child. Like, one child is given a lot of importance, and the other child, for some reason, he does not study, or it could be a genuine reason, she is giving importance to a child because the child is sick and he needs care, and the other child is healthy, but psychologically it can have an impact on the child. Okay, so environmental factors, one of your friend had contributed. I don't remember the name that one, but one of them had contributed environment. Okay, environment can also have a very big impact. What is the kind of environment you come up with? Okay, so that becomes very, very important. Okay, so like, for example, the way you are the environment in which you are brought up has a beautiful influence, good or bad. It can have an influence on your bringing up. Okay, on your behavior. Fine. So now this is something we should have put a little ahead, little, it should have come in the first few slides, and many of us have missed this thing, the influence of the gadgets. I've shown TV here, but now kids don't watch TV because everything they get it on the mobile. The influence of the mobile, everything is so handy, the influence of the gadgets. Okay, all unwanted informations, just one click you get it. So this again, the kind of games they play, the kind of reality shows they watch, the kind of web series they watch, all that can have an effect on the child's behavior. Okay, so see, I really don't know, when I prepared Hyos, when I wanted to prepare Hyos and present it to you, I know you are a third year student, Must be I have given you an information which might be way ahead. Okay, and I really don't know how much you understand, but I personally feel please make a sincere effort in understanding the concept that I'm trying to put it across. It's very practical and it will definitely help you tomorrow in your clinical setup. Okay, so two very important objectives we have taken up. One was what was the behavioral issues, common behavioral issues you come across in your day-to-day practice. That was the first objective. And in the second objective, we spoke about what could trigger the above behavioral changes. Was the second objective. I hope I am clear with what I wanted to convey to you. Fine. If you have any quick questions at this stage, I'll take it up, because if you don't understand this, then understanding the further slides may become a little difficult. Was the concept clear? You could understand what I was trying to tell? Okay. Chalo, if you have no questions, we'll move ahead. Uh, what are the probable homeopathic remedies having behavioral issues? This is something that I expect from your side. What could be the probable homeopathic remedies that you can think of? Very good. Answers are coming very quick. Chamomilla, tarantula, good. Any other remedies? Sina. Whenever we talk of child, I have seen from a past so many years of experience that we never let go of Sina and Chamomilla. Very good, beautiful. Lycopodium, Merck, good. Tarantula, tuberculinum, sepia, veratronal, platina, lacasis, good, beautiful. You've got the whole set of remedies. See, these are all very nice, feeling for a teacher, because you are able to come out with the remedies that I have in my mind, and that's a very positive thing. Good, keep it up. So I hope majority of you have given the remedies. You have Sina, you have Chamomilla. Must be you have missed Ephysagria, you have missed Anacardium. Otherwise, majority of the remedies you have given it. Okay. Now, the focus of today's class will be on Hyos child. So, by now you should be by now you should have got a small clue that Hyoscyamus is also a child who has lot of behavioral issues. That's why we have brought this topic of behavioral problems in children. And in general, I have spoken. Now, in particular, we'll be focusing on the Hyoscyamus child. Okay. So, what are the mental symptoms or what are the behavioral issues you have in Hyoscyamus child? Okay. See, like Barat, if you remember Barat, like Barat, he is also a person, he is also a child who has a lot of energy. Okay, so very restless, very hyperactive child, and child with lot of behavioral issues like Virat. It comes very close to Virat, and we'll try to differentiate Virat and Hyos after some time. But for time being, like Virat drum, Hyos child is also a child who has lot of moral issues. Meaning, he is a child who has no morals. When I say no morals, what I want to highlight here is this child will have a lot of bad morals. Okay. See, morality is about being right or being wrong. It's about being truthful to oneself or being untruthful. Okay. If you're truthful to yourself, then it is good morals. If you're untruthful to yourself, then it is bad morals. So in Hyos, you see a lot of bad morals. Now, what are those bad morals we have in Hyoscyamus is he can be very deceitful person. He can be a big liar. Okay, I've just listed few more remedies. He can be a liar. Okay, he can insult his parents. insulting or abusing his parents, he will not respect his parents, he will not respect elders. We use the word insolent, not respecting a person who deserves respect. For example, insolent child means the child is not giving respect to the father, the child is not respecting his teacher, the child is not respecting his elders. He talks to them in a very disrespectful manner. Such children come under the group insolence. So, Hyos can be a remedy which can come under insolent. Antisocial. Lot of obscene element you have in Hyoscyamus. Now, that obscene element we'll discuss a little later. We saw this in the behavioral issues. They are the kids who are very, very destructive. There are a lot of energy, but this energy is not used for constructive purpose. The energy is used for destructive purpose. So you see them breaking toys, breaking their things. Fine. I have also given you the other remedies so that as a third year student you should know. Must be when you come to final year or internship, we'll try to differentiate. Like I said, ammonium, tarantula, tube, barrette. But now I cannot afford the differentiating factors now because we have certain time. Within that time we need to finish the given syllabus. I'll have that bonding, that binding, that I'll have to finish. So at least as a third year student you should know that these are the other remedies which are destructive in nature. Okay. And increased anger, very violent child. You saw that he is very destructive. There's a lot of anger. In anger he can throw, he can break things. Okay. Now this is what you also have in Hyos. Now what do you see is this child is trying to do something. Now I will make things very simple for you. If he has a flower here and if he is hitting somebody, that will be for fun. But if he has a stone or if he has got some sharp object and if he is hitting somebody, then that will be cruelty. I hope you are getting the simple difference between mischievousness and cruelty. If a child is mischievous, he will not hurt you. It is only for fun. That's why I use the word you keep a small ball of paper or you keep a flower there and then just you hit it. It will hit somebody, but it will not hurt. And then they might turn at you and you might just laugh. Fine, it was for fun. He is a mischievous child. The same child, instead of flower, instead of a paper ball, you imagine he's got something hard subject, hard object, or he's got some sharp object and then he hits somebody. Now the intention here is to cause harm, is to cause pain. And if a person is in pain, you enjoy that pain. That amounts to cruelty. Hyos is both mischievous and Hyos is both cruel. So, mischievousness and cruelty are two things that you see in Hyoscyamus. Other remedies, anacadium. Anacadium is one of the cruelest remedies we have in our materia medica. Very cruel person. Uh, Killing insects, killing animals, troubling people. Fine. A very cruel person can be anacardium. Okay. Now, yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. Hyos can be a cruel person. Hyos child can be very cruel, very quarrelsome. Okay. If somebody does something to him, he will not spare them. He will make sure he will give back to them. His intentions are very malicious. You trouble me, I will remember, I will not spare you. Okay, and he will give them back. Very malicious and kicking. Fine. Anything that comes on his way, you see them kicking. Okay. The other remedies, prominent remedies could be Lycopodium, Tarantula, Verat, Stramonium. And we saw this breaking things, okay, destructive breaking the other remedies. And from the image you can make out a very abusive child, okay, very abusive child. He has no control over the language that he is speaking. Very abusive child, okay, and biting, biting purposefully to harm you with an intent to harm you. So biting, and this we already saw. It could be, see, gestures makes. Gestures makes means the movements that you use. For example, there are few people who use lot of the movements, right? The hand movements when they are talking, they make lot of faces. So making faces, making lot of movements. This we call it as gestures. Okay. See, not only gestures, Hyos, from the image you understand, Hyos child has good amount of jealousy. I'll share a small case from my clinic so that you understand this better. Now, we had this girl, who was the elder child, and there was this new boy, I mean brother, who was born. And this girl, no, the complaint that came to me was the girl who was very intelligent, studying very well, started dropping in studies. So that's when the parents brought her to me, sir. See, this is the problem. And then, when we beautifully analyzed, since when she has reduced her, or her ranks have come down, since when? It goes back from the birth of the second sibling. I mean, from the birth of the brother. Fine. And naturally, parents are giving more attention towards the brother. Why no? Vamshodharaka. So they are giving more love and affection to the child, boy child, and in the bargain, the sister is been neglected. The elder child has been neglected. This is affecting her psychologically, and the studies have come down on a lot of things. And then, see, remember the beauty here in this child. We were trying to understand further, and mother was trying to tell this child, no, the younger brother would weep, would weep when the mother is in kitchen. Every time when the mother is away, no, from this child, from the boy, this boy would weep. And mother got a doubt, why is this boy weeping? So one day she observed the elder sibling, no, would go and pinch the child, pinch the younger brother very rudely. She would pinch, and she would just go and sit and start studying. When mother sees the elder child is busy studying, but the younger child is crying. She did not understand, so she started observing what is happening. So this is what the elder child would do. When the mother is not around, when the father is not around, she would go to the boy and tell him, see, after you came, my life has become like this. It's all because of you. And she would give him a very nice pinch. And that child would cry, and she would immediately run away and to her room or wherever, and she would act as if nothing has happened. Now, this is a typical classical case of Hyoscyamus. Hyos child, jealousy, you have this rubric in your repertory. Jealousy after the newborn takes away all the attention. You should not forget this case whole of your life. Jealousy after the newborn has taken away all the attention. One more remedy you have in your repertory is ignitia. As a third year student, you should know each individual in a given situation will react in different ways. This was Hyoscyamus. So Hyoscyamus went, pinched, troubled the child. See, it's all after you that I am facing all these problems. And she came out very coolly, very cunningly. Nobody knew for so many days. Nobody knew what was happening. Why is the younger sibling crying when mother is away? Nobody knew. They thought must be the child was crying because the child wanted milk or the child wanted the mother. It was not the mother, it was the elder sister who was troubling. You're getting my point. Ignitia in this situation will not go pinch the child, will not go hit the child. Ignitia is not cruel. Hyos is cruel. I hope you're getting the cruelty of Hyos here. So Ignitia will not go trouble the child. Ignitia has a different way of attracting parents. Ignitia can can have some nervous issues coming up. Okay, after the newborn, Ignitia will go into a hysterical mode, or they can come to you with, or they can present themselves with some nervous problems. They might have some twitchings. Okay, or they might have some hysterical conversions. Or Ignitia will try to be very good, listening to the mother, or studying very well, and trying to win over the parents' love and affection. IOSMS will not do all that. IOS is straight. He goes and punishes. He shows this cruel nature. Fine. I hope you're getting it. So this is how you have to understand and slowly unfold. That child was given IOSMS 10M. She beautifully improved. Her what academics became good. I also told the parents, this is where your other side is also very important. I told the parents, having a son is not a big deal. Don't forget, she's your own child, she's your daughter. If you cannot give love to the to two kids, why the hell did you opt for the second child? You're getting my point. So they were also told how to manage, how to behave with the elder child. She is the eldest, she should be given the priority. Fine. And in the bargain, they should never lose love and affection. So they were also concerned, they were also told, and child was prescribed highest and with beautiful improvement. So my topic, what I was trying to tell you here is jealousy in children. The jealousy in Hyoscyamus is after the newborn takes away all the attention. Mind you, a beautiful indication of Hyoscyamus. You get this, remember two remedies, Ignitia, Hyoscyamus. How Ignitia reacts, I just explained. And I also told you how Hyos reacts. See how the given patient of yours is reacting, and accordingly you can prescribe. Okay, very if a mother has an Hyos child at home, her life will be a hell. First thing, she cannot manage the energy of Hyos. He's got a lot of energy. He is a child who is always climbing, jumping, kicking, running. Mother will get drained. She will get drained. So very quarrelsome kids. Kids having a lot of energy, lot of this thing. Now you see this image. If it was a one-to-one class, we could have had beautiful interaction. All the images, not necessarily this image, but this image in Hyoscyamus tells us something. Can somebody quickly tell me what exactly does this image tell us? We have, we have another 5-10 minutes time. So what exactly this image tells us about Hyoscyamus? Are you all there? Yes? Okay, very good. Ravi Chandra, good. A child who is a lascivious child, beautiful, good. Yeah, beautiful. What is it? See, a lot of, I'm happy. Good, good, good. Keep it up. See, now my question here is, yes, see, there are two aspects here. Who is Hyoscyamus is the question. Is this girl Hyoscyamus? If this girl is Hyoscyamus, beautiful. Somebody has used this word shameless. If this girl is Hyoscyamus, then you have a rubric, then you have a symptom. She is a shameless girl. What is she trying to do there? She is trying to expose her parts. Good, that's one part. Assuming this boy is Hyoscyamus, assuming this boy is Hyoscyamus, your friends have given me the answer. And what is that answer? Curiosity. Good. There are a lot of remedies in our materia medica which are curious. This Hyoscyamus boy is curious to know how a girl's private parts look like. So the curiosity in Hyoscyamus is more of sexual curiosity. Sulfur is also there under curiosity. Phosphorus is there under curiosity. Calcarea carb is there under curiosity. And each of those remedies will be curious about something. Calcarea will be curious about supernatural powers. Mummy, where does the angel come from? How does God look? What is there in the sky? Okay, etc. etc. So, Hyos will never ask about God. Hyos will never ask about stars. Hyos will never ask about all those things because he is Hyos, he is not Calcarea. Calcarea has curiosity about all those things. Hyos' curiosity is more sexual. Okay, so why this part is like that, in girls how it will be, in mine why is it like this, in yours how is it like that, I'm sorry if I'm trying to offend, but this is what I want to try to tell you. The curiosity is more of sexual curiosity. Okay, so we are trying to explore the obscene side of Hyoscyamus. In the obscene side we got 2 points. One is Hyos can be a shameless person, meaning he can expose his genitalia. For example, see some boy going and asking the girl, "Show me this." Do you think the girl will show? She might just say, "Get out," or she may do something. She is Hyos lady. She is Hyos child. Hyos lady in the making. So she is willing to show whatever it is. Okay. So there comes the exhibitionism. There comes the shamelessness. So shamelessness exposing part is one aspect, and the second aspect here is the sexual curiosity. See now, what are all the other obscene things that you can have in Hyos is, see, children who are obsessed about sexuality. Hyos is one of the top remedies who love gossiping. And what do they gossip more? They gossip all about the sexual things. Hyos likes talking. Now, what is the content of speech in Hyos? The content of speech in Hyos will again be all obscene, all sexual contents. See, even the songs, there could be many of your friends who are good at making double meaning songs. Okay, a nice song can be made into a double meaning song. So Hyos is one person who has the capacity, the intelligence of converting a nice songs with the same rhyme, with the same thing into a double meaning song. So sings obscene. The jokes that Hyos makes will be again having a sexual content, double meaning jokes. Okay, they're very jovial. Now, what is the content of the jokes? It will be again having a sexual content. So, children obsessed with sexuality, children who talk, who sing obscene, they belong to Hyoscyamus. Okay, exposure genitalia. Now, another very important obscene symptom you have in Hyos child is children who keep playing with their genitalia. Okay, I had a case I've shared with many of your senior classes. A boy, after school, he would just throw the bag, go into the room, sit near the cot, and he would keep playing with his, not the penis. I'm not talking of masturbation here. I'm talking of fondles genitalia. He used to keep playing with his testicles. Okay, and Indian mother, he was some third standard or fourth standard child. Indian mother, she saw this child and she was in a big shock. Sir, this age is like that. How will my child grow in future? What will his future be? She was in a state of shock, and she brought this child to me, and a dose of Hyoscyamus, and I explained to the mother about the child psychology, and asked her to relax. Nothing will happen, and a dose of Hyos did wonders. So children who keep fondling, who keep playing, that gives them a pleasure. That again can be Hyoscyamus. Okay. See the unfortunate thing in Hyos. This again a very painful symptom, but you should know, trying to touch mother's sexual organs. Mother is the soft target, okay? And an intelligent mother knows that is touch whatever is trying to do is not out of innocence, and that's a very unfortunate and a sorry state. And we'll not go into the sorry part of it. We'll look at it as a symptom. As a homeopath, we'll look at it, and please remember these children require ISMS. Okay, so a very important slide, especially in the generation that we are looking at. Okay, so very young age they get so much of sexual knowledge, sexual precocity, they're precocious sexually, and the sexual behavior. This again could be a behavioral problem which we did not touch in the first slide. So all the sexual behavior can also be can also be included there, and this again will tell us about the morals of the child. And we saw in the first slide, moral affections want off, touching mother's genitalia, or the sexual organs, the mammy, and all is not a very morally it's not right. So Hyos will fall into an immoral group of remedies. Okay, so precocious sexual behavior, which we just discussed. So these are few things. To put it in a nutshell, you can take a pic of the image if you want. These are few things I wanted to share with you, and the entire thing, that we have discussed last 40 minutes, it's all there. It's just a summary slide. The restless, hyperactive child, how he behaves, what does he do? He can be destructive, he can break, he can bite, he can kick, he can jump, he can be restless, he can be malicious, very mischievous, very cruel child, very angry child. There is a lot of jealousy and attention seeking children. For example, when you're talking to the mother in clinic, highest child or any child who wants attention, they keep coming in between and disturbing, so that you focus your attention towards that particular child. So antics plays attention seeking children, children with lot of gestures, with lot of movements, children who have jealousy, who have sexual precocity, they can be shameless, they can easily expose without any inhibition, they can expose their parts, they can shamelessly